30,000 years ago, the alien empire came to Earth. They were powerful travelers of space, and they had visited many worlds before, but Earth was different to them. It was quiet, wild, and full of strange life. The aliens did not see humans as important back then. Humans were small tribes living simple lives, and the empire believed humanity would never become a threat. So the aliens built a massive base on Earth. The base was huge, larger than any city of that time, hidden in a remote part of the planet. It was a place where alien ships could rest, repair, and study the planet. The Empire planned to use Earth as a secret outpost far away from the eyes of other civilizations. After building the base, the alien fleet left the planet. Their mission was long, and they planned to return after many centuries. For them, time moved differently. Centuries meant very little to their kind. They believed the base would remain untouched forever. But time passed. Centuries became thousands of years. Thousands became tens of thousands. And Earth slowly changed. Meanwhile, the alien empire continued its expansion across the galaxy. They fought wars, discovered new systems, and built new colonies. Earth became a forgotten location, stored only in ancient records deep inside Imperial archives. Until one day, those records were discovered again. An alien explorer searching old data found the location of the ancient Earth base. The discovery quickly reached the leaders of the Empire. The commanders were curious. The base had been abandoned for 30,000 years. It could still hold valuable technology and ancient research. A fleet was prepared immediately. Massive ships moved through deep space, their engines glowing like stars. The commander of the fleet was a calm and experienced leader, known for many victories. He believed the mission would be simple. They would arrive on Earth, reactivate the base, and bring its technology back to the Empire. After a long journey, the fleet finally reached the solar system. The ships slowed as they approached the blue planet below. Clouds moved across oceans, mountains, and continents. The commander looked at the world through the main viewing screen. Earth looked peaceful, but something was different. Strange signals surrounded the planet. Small objects moved around Earth in orbit, glowing machines that were not part of the ancient alien design. The commander studied them carefully. These machines were not alien. They were human. The fleet officers were surprised. Humans were never expected to become advanced civilization, yet the planet was now covered with cities, lights, and moving machines. But that was not the biggest surprise. The alien scanners searched for the ancient base. They scanned mountains, deserts, oceans, and forests. Nothing appeared. The base that once covered miles of land had completely vanished. The officers repeated the scans again and again. Still nothing. No ruins, no energy signals, no metal structures. It was as if the base had never existed. The commander felt something strange, a quiet unease spreading through the control room. A base that large could not simply disappear. Someone must have removed it. But who? While the aliens searched the planet silently, another system on Earth was already watching them. Deep inside a hidden command center, human monitors showed the arrival of the alien fleet. Every ship, every signal, every movement was being tracked. The humans knew exactly who had returned, and they knew exactly what those aliens were looking for. Because 30,000 years ago, when humans first discovered the ancient alien base, they did not destroy it. They learned from it. The silent search. The alien fleet stayed in orbit around Earth. Their massive ships moved slowly above the blue planet, like silent shadows in the sky. The commander of the fleet stood inside the control chamber, watching the world below him. Something about this mission no longer felt simple. 30,000 years ago, the Empire had built a base on this planet, a powerful outpost filled with machines, knowledge, and energy systems. The base had been strong enough to survive centuries, even thousands of years. Yet now it was gone. The commander ordered the fleet to begin a full planetary scan. Alien drones left the ships and entered the atmosphere, small dark machines that could fly across continents in minutes. They moved over oceans, mountains, forests, and deserts, searching for any sign of the ancient base. Their scanners were powerful enough to see deep underground. But they found nothing. No metal structures. No alien energy signals. No ruins. It was as if the base had never existed. Inside the command chamber, the officers began to feel uneasy. One officer suggested that the base may have been destroyed by natural disasters, earthquakes, floods, or volcano activity could have buried the structure after thousands of years. But the chief scientist quickly rejected the idea. The base had been built with materials stronger than most planetary crusts. It could survive extreme pressure, heat, and radiation. Nature alone could not erase it. The commander stared at the data screens in silence. Then he gave another order. Expand the scan. Search deeper. The drones adjusted their systems and began scanning further beneath the surface, kilometers below mountains and oceans. Their signals passed through layers of rock, searching for anything that matched the ancient alien technology. Minutes passed. Then something strange appeared. A faint signal. Very faint, but clearly artificial. The officers leaned closer to their screens. The signal matched the energy pattern of the old alien base. But the location was wrong. The signal was not coming from the original site. It was coming from somewhere else. Far away, deep under a massive human city. The room became silent. The commander slowly spoke. This is impossible. The chief scientist studied the data again. The signal was real, but it had changed over time. The original alien energy system had been modified, improved, and connected to something much larger. Something human. Another officer suddenly noticed something else. Human satellites in orbit had changed position. They were no longer moving randomly. They were forming a pattern, a defensive pattern. The aliens realized something at the same time. The humans knew they were here. Far below on Earth, inside a hidden underground command center, human operators watched the alien fleet carefully. Massive screens showed every movement of the alien ships. A calm voice spoke inside the control room. They have started scanning. Another officer replied. They will find the signal soon. The first voice answered quietly. Let them find it. They came looking for their old base. It is time they learn what happened to it. Back in orbit, the alien commander looked at the strange signal again. 30,000 years ago, his people had built that technology. But now it was connected to a system larger than anything the Empire had ever placed on Earth. The commander felt the uneasy feeling grow stronger. Someone had not only found the ancient base, someone had learned how to use it, and someone had improved it. Then suddenly a new signal appeared on the alien communication systems. A direct transmission. Origin Earth. The officers froze. Humans were contacting them. The commander allowed the signal to open. For a moment, the screen stayed dark. Then a human face appeared. Calm, confident, and completely unafraid. The human looked directly at the alien commander and spoke slowly. Welcome back. We were wondering when you would return. The hidden truth. The alien command chamber became silent after the human message ended. The screen went dark again, but the words "welcome back" continued echoing inside the minds of every officer in the room. The commander looked at the empty screen for several moments. Humans were not supposed to act like this. According to the ancient records, humans were once primitive creatures, small tribes living on a wild planet. They had no advanced tools, no space travel, and no knowledge of the greater galaxy. Yet the human who appeared on the screen looked calm, confident, and completely aware of the alien fleet. The commander slowly gave a new order. Begin full data analysis of human civilization. The alien systems immediately started collecting information from the planet below. They scanned satellites, communication signals, energy networks, and cities across the continents. The results shocked them. Human civilization was not primitive anymore. Massive cities covered the planet, glowing with lights and advanced energy systems. Thousands of satellites moved in perfect patterns around Earth. Human space stations floated above the atmosphere, and large shipyards existed on the dark side of the moon. The aliens began to understand something important. Humanity had not just survived the last 30,000 years. Humanity had evolved. But the most disturbing discovery was still connected to the signal deep beneath the human city. The alien scientists focused on it again. The signal matched the power core of the ancient alien base almost perfectly, But there were many changes. The energy output was far greater, and the structure connected to the signal was massive, larger than the original base itself. One scientist spoke with a quiet voice. "The technology is ours, but it has been modified." The commander looked at him. "How long would it take a primitive species to understand our technology?" The scientist hesitated before answering. "If they studied it for thousands of years, they could slowly learn how it works." Another officer added something even more unsettling. "What if they did more than just learn? What if they improved it?" The command chamber became silent again. Far below on Earth, the hidden human command center was busy. Rows of operators monitored every alien movement. In orbit, large holographic maps showed the location of every alien ship. The human leader stood in the center of the room, watching quietly. An officer approached him. "Sir, the alien fleet has begun deeper scans. They're studying our infrastructure and orbital systems." The leader nodded calmly. "They are curious. They always were." Another officer asked the question many people in the room were thinking. "Sir, should we activate the outer defense fleets?" The leader thought for a moment. "Not yet. Let them see more. Let them understand." Back in orbit, the alien scientists finally completed a deeper analysis of the mysterious signal. The results appeared on the main screen. The officers stared in disbelief. The structure connected to the signal was enormous, a complex network of chambers, energy systems, and machinery spreading for miles beneath the human city. But the shape of the structure was familiar. Very familiar. It was the ancient alien base, but it had been expanded, changed, and rebuilt into something far more powerful. The chief scientist spoke slowly. "This is the original base, but it is no longer the same. The humans have rebuilt it." The commander felt a strange mixture of shock and anger. The base belonged to the Empire. It was never meant for another species. Yet humanity had taken it apart, studied every system, and rebuilt it as their own. Then suddenly the communication system activated again. Another signal from Earth. This time the human face appeared again. The same calm expression, the same steady eyes. The human spoke slowly, as if explaining something simple. 30,000 years ago, your empire left something behind on our world. We found it, we studied it, and we learned from it." The human paused for a moment, then continued. "What you built as an outpost, we turned into the beginning of our future." The alien commander looked at the screen in silence, because he was starting to realize something terrifying. Humans had not just discovered the ancient base. They had grown stronger because of it. The awakening of Earth. The alien command chamber was filled with quiet tension after the human message ended. No one spoke for several moments, because every officer was thinking the same thing. Humans had taken the ancient alien base. Humans had studied it, and humans had turned it into something far greater. The alien commander stood still while staring at the dark screen where the human face had appeared moments before. His empire had ruled hundreds of worlds. They had defeated powerful civilizations and built fleets that could darken entire star systems. Yet now they were standing above a planet that had quietly taken their technology and transformed it. The commander slowly gave a new order. "Send deep infiltration probes." Small stealth drones left the alien ships and entered Earth atmosphere. These machines were designed to avoid detection. They could move silently through the sky and scan entire cities without being seen. The drones flew toward the massive human city where the ancient base signal had been detected. From above the city looked enormous bright lights stretched across the land. Tall structures reached into the sky, and endless movement filled the streets. The drones moved closer, scanning the ground and the deep layers beneath the city. What they discovered was even more shocking. Deep under the city was not only the ancient base. It was an entire underground world. Huge tunnels, massive chambers, and powerful reactors spread for miles beneath the surface. The old alien base was now only the center of something much larger. Humans had built new structures around it. Alien technology mixed with human engineering. The result was something completely new. The alien scientists watched the data streams in disbelief. The energy output of the underground complex was enormous, far greater than the original base could ever produce. The humans had not only learned how the alien systems worked, they had improved them. Back on Earth, inside the hidden human command center, the operators noticed the alien drones. One officer spoke quickly. "Sir, we have detected small alien probes entering the atmosphere." The human leader nodded calmly. "Allow them to see." Another officer looked surprised. "Sir, they're scanning the underground complex." The leader answered in a calm voice. "They will discover the truth soon enough." The screens in the command center showed the alien fleet in orbit above the planet. But the humans were not worried. Far beyond Earth, in the darkness of space, silent shapes began moving. Massive human warships, slowly leaving hidden stations across the solar system. Back in orbit, the alien commander watched the data from the drones. The scale of the human underground complex continued growing on the screen. Reactors, laboratories, ship construction chambers, and powerful defense systems filled the underground world. Then the scientist spoke again. "Commander, there is something else." The scientist enlarged another part of the scan. Huge structures extended even deeper than the main complex. Energy signatures far stronger than anything they had seen before. The commander felt a strange pressure in his chest. "What are those?" The scientist answered slowly. "Ship construction systems. They are building warships." The alien officers stared at the data. The design of those ships was familiar. Parts of the technology came directly from the ancient alien base, but other parts were completely new, created by human innovation. At that moment, a warning signal suddenly appeared on the alien scanners. Multiple objects approaching from deep space. The officers quickly focused their sensors. Far beyond the orbit of Earth, several massive fleets were moving toward the planet. Their designs were strange but powerful. Human warships. Dozens of them. Then hundreds. The alien commander realized something terrifying. Humanity had not been waiting on this one planet. Humanity had spread across the solar system. And now those fleets were returning home. Back inside the human command center, the leader looked at the approaching fleets on the large display. The officers around him stood quietly. One of them finally asked, "Sir, the alien fleet is still in orbit. What are our orders?" The leader looked at the screen showing the alien ships above Earth. Then he spoke calmly. "They came here looking for their lost base. Now, they will learn what humanity built from it." The silent balance. The alien fleet remained in orbit above Earth. Their ships floated in careful formation while their sensors watched the growing number of human vessels entering the system. What had once looked like a simple mission had now become something far more dangerous. Far from Earth, the first human warships appeared from the darkness of space. Their shapes were massive and powerful, long structures covered with armor plates and glowing energy systems. The alien officers studied the approaching fleet carefully. The ships were clearly human, but their technology carried familiar patterns. Parts of their design came from the ancient alien base. But the humans had done something unexpected. They had improved the systems. The human ships moved faster than the alien command expected. Their energy output was stronger, and their weapon systems looked far more advanced than anything the Empire remembered leaving behind on Earth. One officer spoke with quiet concern. "The humans have built a fleet using our technology." Another officer corrected him. "Not only our technology, something more." The alien commander continued watching the tactical display while more human fleets entered the system. Ships came from different directions, from deep space, from the outer planets, and from hidden stations around the sun. The number of human vessels continued growing. Dozens, then hundreds. The commander finally understood the truth. Earth was not simply a developing civilization. Earth was the center of a new power. Back on the planet, inside the underground command center, the human leader stood beside a large display showing the alien fleet. The atmosphere inside the room was calm. Human officers watched their screens while fleets across the solar system reported their arrival. One officer spoke. "All defense fleets are moving into formation around Earth." Another officer added, Lunar shipyards report that the next-generation warships are ready if needed. The human leader nodded slowly. For thousands of years, humanity had studied the ancient alien base. They had taken its machines apart piece by piece. They had learned the secrets of alien physics, energy manipulation, and starship design. But humans had never stopped improving what they learned. The result was now visible across the solar system. Massive shipyards, hidden research stations, and powerful defense fleets. Back in orbit, the alien commander received another message request from Earth. The same human appeared on the screen. His voice was calm as always. "You have seen our fleets now." The alien commander answered with controlled anger. "That base belongs to the Empire. It was never meant for your species." The human did not look afraid. Instead, he spoke slowly. 30,000 years ago, your empire left the base behind and abandoned this world. We simply found what you forgot. The alien commander responded. "It must be returned." The human remained silent for a moment before answering. "That will not happen." The screen showed the human leaning slightly closer. "Your empire once believed Earth was a quiet, primitive world, a place that could be used and forgotten. But time changes everything." The human paused, then continued. "You left knowledge here, and humanity learned from it." The alien commander looked at the growing human fleets surrounding Earth. The situation was no longer simple. If war started, the battle would not be quick. It could destroy entire systems. And the alien commander was beginning to understand something even more dangerous. Humans had not built this power in fear. They had built it in preparation. Because somewhere in their long history, they had always believed one day the aliens would return. And they had been ready for that moment for a very long time. The new rulers of the stars. The silent tension around Earth continued growing. Alien ships floated in orbit while human fleets slowly formed a powerful wall around the planet. For the first time in many centuries, the alien empire faced uncertainty. The commander of the alien fleet stood in the command chamber watching the tactical display. Every minute, more human ships appeared. Massive vessels surrounded the planet like guardians protecting their home. The alien officers were quiet now. Earlier, they believed Earth was simply a forgotten outpost. Now they understood something far more serious. Earth had become the center of a rising civilization. Back on the planet, the human command center was calm. The leader watched the alien fleet carefully while reports arrived from different parts of the solar system. Human defense stations around Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn had already entered combat readiness. Long-range weapons were prepared, but no one had fired a single shot. Humanity did not want war, but humanity was ready for it. One officer looked at the leader and asked a quiet question. "Sir, if the alien empire attacks, what will we do?" The leader answered without hesitation. "We defend our home." The large screen suddenly showed a message arriving from the alien flagship. The alien commander wanted to speak again. The communication channel opened, and the alien commander appeared on the display. His expression was serious but no longer arrogant. He looked at the human leader carefully. "You have built a powerful civilization." The human leader remained silent, waiting for the alien to continue. The alien commander spoke slowly. 30,000 years ago, the Empire believed Earth was a primitive world that would never matter. We were wrong. The human leader nodded slightly. "Yes, you were." The alien commander looked at the massive human fleets surrounding the planet. Then he asked a final question. "What do humans plan to do with this power?" The human leader looked directly at him. For thousands of years, humanity lived on a small, fragile world. We faced storms, wars, and disasters, but we survived. When we discovered the ancient base your empire left behind, we realized something important. The universe is not empty, and one day the owners of that base would return. The alien commander listened carefully. The human leader continued speaking. "So we prepared. We studied every machine, every system, every piece of knowledge inside that base. We built new technology stronger than the original. We expanded beyond Earth. We built cities on moons and stations across the solar system. And we created fleets capable of defending our future." The alien commander understood the message clearly. Humanity had not grown powerful by accident. They had been preparing for this meeting for thousands of years. The human leader spoke one last time. We do not want war with your empire, but this planet and everything built from that base now belongs to humanity. Earth is our home, and the solar system is our territory. The alien commander remained silent for several long seconds. Then he slowly gave an order to his fleet. The alien ships began turning away from Earth. One by one, the massive vessels started leaving orbit. Inside the human command center, the officers watched carefully until the alien fleet began moving toward deep space. One officer finally spoke with relief. "Sir, they are leaving." The human leader looked at the screen showing the distant ships. Yes, they have understood the message. Far away in space, the alien commander looked back at the blue planet one last time. 30,000 years ago, the Empire had abandoned that world, believing it was unimportant. Now that same world had become something else. A civilization that had taken forgotten technology and turned it into the foundation of a new power. The commander quietly spoke to himself. Earth is no longer a forgotten world. It is the beginning of a new empire. And humanity had just taken its first step toward ruling the stars.